Shalom, shalom. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honor to the elders, apostles, and great millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect of the Israelites and to the speckled bread Israelites like the heathen nations that are scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth. And shalom to all you brothers and sisters that are listening and learning. And shalom to all you brothers that are out there on the highways and byways, magnifying the words of Yahweh, why Yahweh shine these last days, and trying to wake up the elect. Come back at y'all with another quick video on this website called Natural News. This is a website that I go on and I use pretty often too. But as y'all can see, it says IMF, which I'm trying to see what that stands for. Oh, it stands for International Monetary Fund. But it says now warning that food supply shortages will create waves of social unrest across the globe, right? I also want to mention that this video is only for the Israelites. That's who the world ignorantly calls Jesus died for. He only died for those people, and his real name is Yahweh Shai, not Jesus. And that's who the world ignorantly calls God, whose name is Yahweh, meaning he is. God is just a title, and he only came for those people. The Israelites are who you call black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native American, always have been, always will be. But let's get into the video. It says they're warning that food supply shortages will create waves of social unrest across the globe. Right? And this is scriptural. This will happen. You know, there will come a time to where you walk into the store and then, you know, there's no food, or, you know, you see people fighting over food. This will happen. You know? Let's get this in the book of 2nd Esdras, because this is prophecy. Right? This is not something that is made up. This is not something that is a fable. This is something that will happen. Where is it at? Many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish in famine. Where is it at? Hold on. This is it, 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 22. It says, "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy it." Right? So the sword can represent not just, you know, a real, you know, actual sword, but the sword can represent any forms of weapons that Esau could use. Like Esau's sword could be his media. Esau's sword could be his philosophies. You know, those are all different ways that Esau can get you jakes, man. You know, get you to go off. Because the Lord, you know, is using Esau. You know, but in this case, when it says the sword should destroy, the sword just means, you know, the, like different ways of vengeance. Like the sword could be, you know, you dying from being put in a concentration camp. You know, or you dying from some type of disease or something. You know, because it says many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. It don't say every single person, but it says a lot of people will die of famine, right? Which is prophecy. And I'm gonna read verse 23. It says, "And the dead should be cast out as dung, and there should be no man to comfort them, for the earth should be wasted, and the city should be cast down." Right. So dung is like, you know, feces, and it's gonna come to a point to where we're going to literally be walking over dead bodies. You're going to see bodies like how you see feces on the street after a dog uses the bathroom. That's how dead bodies are going to be, just laying there, just sitting there. You know, there's not going to be nobody to comfort these bodies, man. Once this famine hits, man, you know, and once it's global, you know, hey, man, it's going to be horrible out here, man. You know, let's see what it says on here. It says, the International Monetary Fund has issued a warning about the future, which looks grim. Hey, is that not? That's in the scriptures too. We get this in grim meaning, like, you know, it looks kind of shady. That's not very much light. This is in Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, and when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them." Meaning follow Yahweh Shai Shai. Get right with Yahweh Shai Shai as an Israelite man or Israelite woman before those days come to where the Lord is not going to have mercy or no pity unless you're part of the elect of the nation of Israel. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, which the sun and the light and the moon, are lights, obviously, on the physical level, but on the spiritual level, this is talking about the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It says, be not darkened, nor the clouds will turn after the rain. Verse 3 says, in that day, when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease because they are few, which are the workers, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Right? And it says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. You see that? So before this time comes, man, you as an Israelite, man, you gotta seek Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. You gotta get right with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You gotta take heed to this word. You gotta repent. You gotta change your ways, keep His commandments. But that's not what ultimately saves you. It's by mercy and grace that we're saved, because all of our righteousness is as filthy rags, as it says. But I'm back on this page, and I'm going to read some of it. It says, if things continue as they are now, and they more likely will, right? And this is what Jacob's not paying attention to, right? When things happen, bad things happen, they think that every time something goes bad or goes wrong, they think it's just going to bounce back. But they're not thinking in their head that one day maybe it could get worse, and maybe it can get to the point to where things that we've never seen before or experienced, and that could be the end. They don't think like that because they're in the spirit of a deep sleep. And I'm gonna read this part. It says, the result will be supply issues and civil unrest that is coming. Right? Civil unrest is when you have sedition amongst men, uprisings against the government. I'm gonna get that in 2 Ezra chapter 15 and 14. It says, likely beginning in the third world and spreading from here or there. It says, I'm gonna read this part. It says, sky high food prices, especially in poorer countries, will make it unaffordable for many families to make ends meet, and this will lead to protests and riots. And as dominoes continue to fall throughout the rest of the world, hell on earth will ensue. You see that? So, hey, it will happen, man. And it's going to be like hell on earth. This is going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. Right? Let's get this in 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Get this. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. It says, and with swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition amongst men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You see that? So, hey, this time is here. It's really close. And we're coming upon that time. And it might very well happen this summer, man. All hell could break loose this summer. But that remains to be seen, though. But if you keep up with the prophecies and things that are going on around the world, if you mention the times diligently, like it says in 2 Ezra chapter 9, you're seeing that, hey, like they just said on the article, the dominoes are falling, and if they fall completely all the way to the end, then, hey, man, it's going to happen exactly like that, because it's prophecy. So either way, it's going to happen regardless of what Esau says or not. Them saying they can stop it, or maybe it can bounce back, maybe, or maybe it's going to happen. It says, verse 17, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. What is that talking about? Martial law. You're going to have, Esau is going to release, their bionic super soldiers, their robots that they got, they smart robots, and you're going to have these UN troops, come from different countries, and mow down Jake, man, during the time of Jacob's trouble, man, when there's a famine and there's no food. This is how, this famine is how they're going to institute the MOTB and make it mandatory, doing this. But I'm going to get verse 18. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And this is the point, right? Verse 19 says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Right? You see that? It says for lack of bread, which is, it's not just talking about just literal bread, but the bread just symbolizes food in general. So This time is gonna come. Hell on earth, like it says in this article, is gonna happen. There's no avoiding it. It's unavoidable. Let me read this right here. It says, this crisis unfolds even as the global economy has not yet fully recovered from the pandemic. Like, Esau is acting like that they don't know what's going on or they don't understand how this happened. They the ones that caused it. You know? It's I'm gonna read this. It says it says um let me read this. It says, will the entire world go hungry? I don't know how to pronounce it, but it says they went on to talk about how increases in both food and fuel prices are likely to spur even more social unrest starting in poorer countries, central bank says. And it says he will have to adjust to their policies somehow to try to anchor both medium and long-term inflation expectations. It says if they fail at this, and they eventually will, since central banking is a Ponzi scheme that cannot persist forever without eventually collapsing under its own weight. Hey man, that's the spirit right there, because the scriptures say he that diggeth a pit shall fall therein. And we know, us in this faith, we know that, Esau is in control of this. They're the ones that's causing this to happen. Right? And they're gonna fall through their own counsel. What's in the book of Job? They're gonna fall by their own counsel, man. I'm gonna skip down here. It says right here. It says, if you think we've got hell on earth now, you just get ready, man. It says if we neglect Northern Africa, and Northern Africa is coming to Europe. If we neglect the Middle East is coming to Europe. This almost reads like a threat, which is probably what it is. Give us more money. And this is man, because we live on a Western hemisphere, as they say in America. It says the Western world will not be immune to this. It says, by the way, it says on the top of inflation, we are already seeing the fertilizer crisis along with reduced crop yields, theoretically collapsing our food supply up to 1/2 of normal. You see that? And let me get this in 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and 22, I believe it is. Jake ain't ready, man. But we know the elect will eat during this time. It don't matter if you grow your own food, man. Hey, man, it says in 2nd Ezra chapter 16, it says that we're gonna have to be as pilgrims upon the earth. The time is gonna get so bad you ain't gonna have time to sit in one place. You're gonna have to be on the move, like the book of Eli. If any of you brothers may have seen that movie, and he had to constantly be on the move. The star of that movie is Denzel Washington. His name was Eli in the movie. One thing he had with him was his Bible. That's what he lived by. Like the scriptures say, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word out of the mouth of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's how he survived, man. That's how the elect is going to survive in these latter days. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouse, so the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which every man hear, they shall suddenly be afraid. And at that time, friends shall fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. You see that? So the water's going to be cut off during this time. During this time, all hell's going to break loose, man, because, you ever see that Snickers commercial says, you're not you when you're hungry? Hey, well, when people are hungry, when they're starving, they're different. They're not themselves. They're something else. They turn into, like a demon because they don't have food. And when you don't have food, you're malnourished and, you're just on a different frequency. You're on a low-level frequency, And these people already can't go, for the most part, our people can't go they can't even go 30 minutes without eating something. Something has to be by them. Something has to be in their mouth, They don't fast, because I know before I came into the truth, I didn't fast, what I'm saying? I heard of fasting, but growing up in America and Babylon the Great, nobody teach you to do that, except you a Muslim, but that's not the truth. But, these These people don't know what it is to fast. You know, our people don't know what it is to fast. They don't know what it is to go without food. You know, that's why. What does it say? Um, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, and it has. You know, we got stores everywhere. Um, we got shopping marts everywhere. You know, you can get everything in the instant. You got Uber Eats. You got what else you got? You got you can call a pizza place. You have pizza delivered to your doorstep in like 10 minutes. You know, everything is easily like accessible. You don't have to wait. People got microwaves. If you want something fast, you can use the microwave. You know, but this is coming into an end. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that have made all the earth drunken, and the nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. It says, verse 8, it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her to take balm for her pain? If so be she may be healed. And that's why, Biden, he got this, he had the campaign, Build Back Better, but really he's destroying this place. And people don't know, our people don't know that presidents are elected, they're selected, they're not elected. And that, that he's set up to destroy this place. He's not set up for your benefit. No president is set up for your benefit. And the only ones who's going to survive is the elected nation of Israel. I'm going to get this in the book of Isaiah, chapter, 66? I think it's chapter 65. It says, Therefore thus saith Yahweh Shemel, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry, and behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty, and behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. You see that? So all you Israelites that walk past, all you, so-called black people and so-called Hispanic Native American, y'all like calling yourselves that, those that, that act like nothing's happening or nothing's going to happen. Hey, just wait, man. Just wait. Because like the scriptures say, the world is in gross darkness, man. So a lot of you jakes, y'all see COVID it didn't make you wake up. These gas prices didn't make you wake up. You see the gas prices, they rose. You see a lot of jakes, they see food prices are rising, but they don't understand why. They just think it's just, a bump in the road, so to speak. They just think it's one of those things that happen and it's just going to go back to normal, just like with COVID. But they don't understand the ways of Esau Edom, man. They don't understand their enemy. They don't think they have an enemy. But I'm gonna close out with that, man. I just want to do a little quick video on this article that I had came across. I'm gonna give all praises and all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash, and double honors to the elders of the great millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel, and to you speckled bird Israelites that look like the heathen nations. To y'all say shalom, I'm gonna say wah above above.